Here we are rolling. So this is a little different version of the podcast. So this is one of these things that we've initially thought about when we first started talking. When I was talking to Brad about it. If you don't know who Brad is, Brad was on, I think, podcast number 2 with him and Ken. And it's good to have him back. So we're over at Brad's house. And this is Justin. Go back, you call it stepson or just son? Or I mean, I've never really, like, fuck, I've known you guys forever. Related. You're related. So we got Just here. And if you didn't know, like a little background introduction on the guys, Brad is second generation Dooner. He's been coming out since what, the 70s?
So yeah, 78?
Really?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So Brad's been coming out since 78. Also worked for Honda for what, 27 years? We started off as a mechanic and then became a racing promoter. All of that.
Worked for the race. Well, started out working in the service shop at Honda, and then went from there to the race team. Did that for 13 years.
Yeah,
13. And then from there went into doing events. Did that for 13 or 14 years.
Awesome. So for those that don't know, I met these guys by walking into their camp a long time ago. I mentioned that several times. So they've taken me in, and I've been doing it with them for 12 years now, I guess. So it's been good times, and that's how I met Justin. I remember I came out of this little camper trailer I rented, and I heard someone blasting. I don't know, it was like some old country out there, and I was like, who the hell is this guy? And I see this dude wearing like a cowboy hat, and just tatted up, and shirt off, belly hanging out. And I'm like, shit, I'm gonna get along just fine with this guy. This is gonna be great. So,
probably an early morning shot.
Yeah, right. But tell you what though, Justin's awesome, and this dude can dune. And I mean, hell, you raced when you were younger, and
yep.
Yeah. How'd that start out?
I worked for a shop down in Stanton, people that race, people that dune, engine building, dyno tuning, stuff like that. And, after getting in with people and making contacts, we kind of figured out that we wanted to race and that we could do it fairly affordably, with sponsors like that.
And having somebody that was at Honda.
Yeah.
Good to know people.
I raced Yamaha.
You raced a Yamaha?
I raced a Yamaha. Had a championship on the Yamaha. That was good. Intermediate level, but still had a good time. Raced Glen Helen, had a good time. But I got into racing for the love of building bikes and figuring out how to make them go fast.
Oh yeah.
I mean, just good times racing, whether you're winning or losing. No complaints.
Awesome, man.
It's better when you're winning.
It's better when you're winning. I did win.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
One at an amateur level.
What class did you race?
I started out beginner, smoked the class, and the next moto moved up because it was instant contested my race. They weren't happy with like a minute lap.
Yeah.
And moved up to the novice class and then finished off at intermediate.
Nice, man.
So
you're going to be editing all this, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Just act like you're talking to us. Don't act like you're on camera.
Well, trying.
Hey, we can leave it in too. It's fine. It's
you have no problem talking.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know, but I feel like we're
this isn't a job interview. We're just doing our thing. So
I'm trying to keep it peaceful.
No.
Hey,
I mean,
you know how we talk at the campsite. I'm trying not to throw out the F-bombs because it's like, I fucking work here, and
You can. It's fine. We'll either edit unless Brad's embarrassed from your country.
I'm not embarrassed.
I'm trying to be in my church voice.
No, that's fine. Like, honestly, there's not enough people watching it anyway to make it seem like I needed to. I'm not losing sponsorship, guys. So, but I mean, the whole point is just, bullshit and talk about stuff that we want to talk about and hear about. So one of the things with this, the season's over and we're trying to find time to fill. And we got the Sand Sport Super Swap tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why we're up here in Orange County, because Glamis Coffee, we're going to be working out. The whole reason So Wes hit us up and he kept talking about the sand swap. And I honestly had no reason why I'd go to a flea market in Orange County. I was like, I don't know why I'd come up here for this. Then the more I looked at it, I realized what it was. And I'm like, oh, I should be up here selling coffee because this is just, it's one of those things where you look at something as a hobby, then you realize you turn it into a job and you realize, oh, I need to work.
Yeah. Gotta do that.
So ordered a bunch of stuff and came up here, and Brad was nice enough to invite me over and crash. So here we are. We're going to be there in the morning for that. But this is kind of one of those things. Like, what do you guys do in the off season?
Well, we do water sports. Go to the river, or ride the Harley, or I don't know, we always got something going on.
Yeah, it's something else out there.
Yeah.
So, do you guys think it's more or less everyone from Glamis kind of just goes straight to the water sports?
I think with gas prices, those who can afford it probably. I mean, we are very fortunate that we have friends in all aspects of this. We can go to the desert, go to the river. I mean, for us, the summer season is kind of a bonus season because we do off-roading out there as well. We got in Arizona, we got high elevation areas that we can ride. So we go up to the Wallapies. We just did a ride.
Where's the Wallapies?
So if you head out of Bullhead and you go up towards Kingman, go through Kingman, you head up into the mountains. I guess up above Oldman is a place that everybody would know. It's a big mountain range up there. You're 8,000 foot. You could be 90 degrees in the valley and 70 degrees up there. Nice breeze. And, you find everything from minor cabins to, old tractors. I mean, things that people brought in to make money back in the day. I mean, 1800s, 1900s. I mean, we would ride up there and find different trails, and then in the same day that you're riding on your Razor, you can head down and hop on the boat and go water ski.
Do you do that?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, water ski.
Well, I mean, get on the lake and have fun. I mean, I definitely do some fishing, but go anywhere from riding the Razor to a cool spot. You can go to the Havasupai Falls.
Dude, so I want to go to Havasupai. So I've seen there's this one guy that I follow online. It's Wes Miller. You ever watch like the H-Bomb films back in the day?
Oh yeah.
So I used to love those, and I have probably about 4 or 5 of them at the house. And I started following him recently, like the last couple months, and he's out there right now, and I'm just seeing everything. I'm like, I want to go do that. It's like an 8-mile hike down into those. Isn't it?
What are you talking about?
Havasupai Falls.
The waterfall.
It's on the Indian reservation.
Where's that?
In Arizona.
So if you go down the 95, like if you get off the 40, you either go Havasu that way or Bullhead this way.
All right.
Take the 95 and you turn off and you go up towards like the golf courses or the airport. You can turn off up there, and there's a spring, depending on the time of the year. Sometimes it's dry, but when we've gone, there's a waterfall flowing. You can drive. One of our buddies has a K5 Blazer. You can drive 80% of the way in there, and then it's maybe like a half a mile hike.
I've never been there.
It starts twisting like crazy, and the canyons are real high.
Really?
And, there is a way to get to it from the backside that you can look down in the canyon, but there's a spring way up top. I've never been up there. But from where we've gone, you can climb up these waterfalls, and they just kind of go up level by level as you climb.
Yeah.
But there's little pools. They kind of resemble, if anyone's ever been up to like Kern, they have the teacups that flow down through the Kern River. There's a pool, there's a waterfall, then another pool.
Those are cool.
Havasupai is the same way. And I guess midway into or towards the end of the summer season, you get that water flowing all the way through the canyon, and it's kind of, it's damp, but the water does fall. So
okay.
It's nice.
I want
Jeep trip.
to go check it out because the stuff I've seen, it's like crystal clear, like blue water. It looks amazing.
Yeah,
like, from what I've seen.
Beautiful.
I've never been there.
Oh, you have to get reservations to go there. To do the spot. I mean, I'm not sure the spot you're talking about.
Yeah, the lower falls you can go right up to them.
Yeah.
Where like the the main areas that you're talking about, like a swimming hole,
Mhm.
those ones are a little more crowded.
Okay.
So, but we get the end trickle of it. And it's pretty nice.
We got spots like that in North Carolina that I love. I used to do a lot of cliff jumps. So up in the Blue Ridge Mountains, you got Devil's Courthouse, and it's a 40-foot cliff jump, the tallest in Blue Ridge Mountains. You're like jumping through trees. It's badass.
Yeah, the places we're driving razors to, you're not jumping off of nothing. You're kind of just cooling off after your hike, kind of deal. It's just a trickle down the smooth rocks.
I'm all about it, man. Anytime you get some good water. If you ever go up to Carolina, Boone has what is it? They call it trash can falls for a minute, then they call it compression falls. I guess the locals called it trash can because the county used to keep all their big trash bins at the trailhead. But you go up there and it's super neat. And then you got Elk River Falls, and that's near Appalachian State. And it's a 50-foot jump straight off the waterfall down in. But that's the shit I miss from over there. But dude, totally want to get it. So the thing is, I've never done any wheeling in Arizona except for Flagstaff and what's the other one right south of it. Damn, got on a blank of it.
I mean, you got all kinds of stuff out there. I mean,
yeah.
Arizona is like Disneyland for off-roaders.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got
and everything else, and guns.
Yeah, you got guns, you got
and
off-road.
less registration, and taxes and gas, and
it's like the state next door that you get a little more freedom. It's a little hotter.
Yeah.
So that's another kind of thing that I was wanting to talk about. It seems like everyone's pulling chocks and going straight to Arizona.
Mm-hmm.
Is that your plan?
Yep.
When?
In the next year and a half, 2 years.
Really?
Yep. Done with this.
Done with it.
The traffic is less. Everything's less.
Well, I want to be out there and be able to do exactly what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Right out of my backyard. Not.
Well, that's great. You do it, and I'll come visit you.
Yeah,
because it's a little hot over there for me, man.
But it's only hot depending on where you're at. I mean, we're looking to move.
Yeah, if you're out behind Phoenix, up in those mountains.
Yeah, Prescott
those are
area,
nice.
Chino Valley. I mean,
yeah,
Scottsdale's beautiful. It's not as green quite as Prescott, but you get up there. Even where Jordan lives. I mean, he's in Cottonwood. It's
yeah, their weather is close to what it is here.
Yeah, it's California weather. You're gonna get a high of 100.
No, he doesn't even get up there.
Yeah, maybe not even that
much. No, he's
what elevation are they at?
5,000.
He's below
like
Flagstaff, Sedona area.
Are they?
Yeah.
Sedona. That's what I was meaning.
He's a little lower than Prescott.
Yeah.
Prescott, not
so
Prescott.
You get kind of high desert California, like Hesperia. You get.
Yeah.
I don't think he really hits that high over 100.
No, but in the wintertime, I mean, they'll get a white Christmas, maybe a sprinkle, but they're not
going to
get
a little bit.
Yeah. Dude, I remember, so it was that Thanksgiving I came down, I got balled up in that kitty track.
So wait. Let me go through my Rolodex. How many times have you been balled up?
I'm due about every 5 years.
No, you're due every year.
I've doubled up. This last 2 years I've doubled up.
You're good for one a year.
I'm trying to break the streak right now. So anyway, it happens. But
and if you haven't seen it,
well, yeah,
go and see Bobby wad up his Banshee.
A lot of people have seen it. A lot of people have seen it. I should honestly just get a shirt that says Loctite. If I need a sponsor, it's gonna be from Loctite.
There you go.
That'd be the first sponsor. That video's got like over 500-something thousand views now.
Well, you had a ton that day.
What?
The day that it happened.
What about it?
You had a ton of views that day.
Yeah. No, it went. Yeah, that thing went, I guess, off-roading viral for what it is.
Mount one of those Starlinks to your helmet so we can just track you live.
Just what I need. One more stupid thing attached to me. That video, we lucked out just by having 2 cameras on us.
That's crazy.
I've never had a 360 camera. That's recent, and then
Bobby, let me tell you something.
Yeah.
Some of the coolest stories in Glamis have never been recorded, and that's why they are still the coolest stories. Glamis stories are like fish stories.
Yeah, it just keeps like
Yeah. The dune was huge. The jump was 200 foot long. You jumped it on a bike with no chain.
Give me a fish story.
I remember. Let's see. I remember being young. This was early on. I was probably maybe 10 years old, and let's see, I probably got 2 fish stories. So one, I was way younger,
Yeah.
right? And I caught the biggest snipe I'd ever caught. Right?
Got a snipe.
Yeah, we used to
Got a
be
gunny sack.
we used to be snipe hunting out there, and
Oh shit.
my uncle Kelly, he used to come out, and he would take all us kids, and we would go and play tag first. You know, we would all hop on our 3-wheelers and go in little dunes. And, you know, we everybody would turn their lights off, and then we'd go and we'd just get to a spot and sit.
Yeah.
Right? Somebody would fire up. That was the one catching everyone, and we'd just wait. And then all of a sudden, Uncle Kelly would come flying over. Right, so we'd finish our game of tag, and he'd be like, "Hey, you know, I found this bush that had a bunch of snipes in it." We were all young, you know, sub 10 years old or so. And he'd go out there and he'd be fighting this thing, wrestling like it was WWF in a potato sack, you know. And there, I mean, come to find out, you know, now that it was, you know, whatever was left over for dinner and a whole bunch of ketchup or something, you know, and it just looked like he really got this thing.
Didn't
you
he
know?
do a Barbie doll leg?
That's
one time?
awesome.
Something, yeah. He thought that it chewed up something, and it was just something to keep us going. You know, we'd be having hot chocolate and cinnamon rolls, and
Yeah.
all of a sudden, oh, there'd be a snipe running through the camp, you know, and he'd be chasing something, and, you know, the snipe was this big, and, you know, you never knew,
Oh
and,
shit.
you know, and then,
Did you have snipes in North Carolina?
Yeah. We took quite a few new people out.
they're
for some
native
snipe
to all
hunting.
camping,
Yeah, they
all
are.
campground areas.
Yeah. The damn things that you know, they terrorize the shit out of you.
Yeah.
That's how you get all your beer stolen, and
Yep.
you know. Yeah.
I remember when I was younger, but before Brad had the motorhome that he does now, we had a Cruise America motorhome. We must have packed 10 people in there at the time. It was a garage model,
Mm-hmm.
and I had at the time I was probably maybe 14 years old, but I thought it was Deegan's 250F. It was so fast, you know,
Yeah.
and it was a loaner bike from Honda. And it was so fast, in fact, that I woke up early excited to ride it. First day of the trip, went out and rode for about 20 minutes, hitting the biggest jumps you've ever seen, of course.
Yeah.
You know,
Hell yeah.
bigger than they probably were in real life. But rode it for about 20 minutes till I got stuck in the dunes, and must have been a dirty carburetor. And we came home, could never get it started that trip. And I had gotten it so hot riding the 250F that it had no oil in it, and I didn't check before I started riding it. We didn't oil change.
Shit's overrated anyway.
I forgot to put the oil back in it.
Yeah.
And we got it home and took it apart, and it was so hot that we had royal blue cam buckets, and it was the first bike that led me into working on motorcycles. You know, me and Brad took that thing apart. You know, I'd get home after school and I'd start taking it apart before he got home from work, and
Yeah.
he'd come home and we had a garage full of coolant everywhere because I didn't, you know, purge any of the cooling system before I took the head
Yeah.
off, and it just went boom all over the floor. And
I remember that.
so I figured out how to do that, and then taking it apart was, okay, we got to take it apart in this sequence, make sure all the parts are together. But when you take apart a head, that everything in the head is shattered because you've been wide open in the dunes with no oil.
Yeah.
It's really hard to organize things at 14 years old, and
Learning curve goes up, doesn't it?
I bitch. But yeah, it was a case of the fish story of the fastest 250 that never had any oil on the biggest jumps in Glamis.
Well, they
Damn
go
right.
real quick with no oil
Yeah.
for like a minute.
Yeah, it was the fastest. They always ran the best before they're about to blow up.
Yep.
But you know that what's really cool about that is that, you know, you have a place where you can get into those things. You have, like, you know, it's one of the things. I grew up, I had a little 125, and you protected that thing at all costs, because if it ever broke, you'd probably never get another one.
Yeah.
So there's something really cool about the thing breaks, you bring it home, you and Brad tear that thing apart.
Yeah.
And you can start just building it back up. And it's one of those things where it's nice when you're in an environment where these things are encouraged, where it's like, yeah, shit happens. You know, you should probably do your maintenance, but
That was
happened.
the luxury of being a dumb kid with a stepdad that worked at Honda. I mean, it was bliss, I guess. You know, I mean, you never know until it's over that you had all the coolest shit in the world. You know,
Damn right.
Nothing to complain about at 14 with a dirt bike track in the backyard and
Yeah.
bikes on tap at any given time. I mean, that is something that some kids had never seen. You know, so I mean,
Right.
we did the damn thing. I mean, that in and of itself is a fish story. You know,
It's so fucking cool.
you blow
though.
up a bike and you go pick up another one. I mean, that was the coolest thing
Yeah.
you could ever. You know, I mean,
Yeah, it's
what's comparable to that? You know,
Even what was it, 5 years ago? I loaned him a bike and it crashes it. It's like, oh, just bring it back.
I got hit on the freeway.
But still, it's the same thing.
Yeah.
Hey, what about the time I raced at Glen Helen? We raced a 6 hour at Glen
Oh,
Helen.
and I got you a Foreman or something.
Yeah, it was a 4x4 quad, like a farm tool.
Oh yeah,
Not
yeah.
a quad.
A utility quad.
It was a quad.
They're not.
Oh, utility.
Yeah.
Sorry. And we raced.
It's still a quad. It's a utility quad.
No, quads are Suzuki's.
Quad just means 4.
No,
Yeah.
quads are Suzuki's. Quad has.
Yeah, you got to be. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess you got to be correct.
Everybody said it's like
I still
when
call my
Honda
Banshee
made
a bike.
Honda made watercraft,
Yeah.
right? The Aqua Tracks. We go, oh, can I borrow your Sea-Doo? It's like, no, it's not a Sea-Doo.
Sure.
It's going to
What's
the
that?
cloud.
So
Which
that time
one?
we had that quad from Honda. It was a
Not a quad.
sorry, it was a
Not a quad.
it was
Four-wheeler.
a farm tool. It was a 4-wheeler, 4-wheel drive.
A mini car.
Yeah, that's what it felt like. And me and my buddy Dylan Dixon, he raced it in the Pro-Am level, and we raced motocross. But we raced the 6 hour. It's a enduro race. At Glen Helen, you race everything from the motocross track to the truck track, around the backside of the course, up into the hills. I mean, everywhere. And we raced in the pro class, just 2 of us versus the only other. It was factory Can-Am. They raced the Outlander 1000. We were racing on like a Foreman 600 or something, whatever that thing was called.
680, I think it was.
It was certainly
Really?
not. It was certainly not an Outlander 1000. Those things.
No,
were
it was a
fast in its
it was a
day.
farm tool.
Yeah, and bone stock. It was green.
No suspension, just like a
and,
rock.
No, I got suspension.
Yeah, it was shaft driven. I mean, it was automatic push button shift, and we raced them, and we actually beat them. Just the 2 of us. We did the 6 hour. We raced. We won the class, and they were flabbergasted, obviously, you know, because they were on a much better bike, faster bike, anyways. But closer to the end of the race, we were on the REM track, and I came over one of the tabletops and lost the seat. So we didn't find that until after the race, and we finished out the race with like a pillow out of his mom's motorhome,
Hell yeah.
which his mom's motorhome was our pit at the time. And by the time we finished the race, he did the final lap. He pulled into the pit. We turned the bike off. The bike did not turn back on. We gave it back to Brad off. It wouldn't turn on. It wouldn't start. It wouldn't power up, heat on, nothing. That bike didn't shut off for 6 hours. It just got fuel, and we got fuel in our bodies. We got bananas and water for 6 hours. And I don't know that the bike ever turned back on. I'm sure it did when they got back to Brad. But yeah, we raced the crap out of that thing, and it was fun. You know, it was just some other aspect of racing, no matter what it was, we were just there for it. You know.
Oh, yeah, man.
But do you see a pattern here?
Yeah, just give your broken shit to Brad.
Yeah.
And
I hand him something and then it comes back broke.
Hey, that's the luxury of it.
that's awesome, man. Hell yeah, boys.
Should we have a shot?
We should. Anyone know a toast?
Probably not good for the internet. Toast.
I only know one toast. And honestly,
If you can't come in here, you come on her.
well, that's a good one too.
Okay.
That'll work.
I've been fixed. 3 kids. Cheers.
I'm gonna keep it in. I take shots like a bitch.
Then he's got a pink koozie.
Banshee pink though.
Banshee pig.
That was the years just after the J arm.
Exactly it. It's did you see the I put a little post on it. I got some chain whack on it. It hurt my feelings, man. It hurt my feelings. So I'm assuming in that whole mix when I was just getting everything ready and putting stuff on, I may have put that chain on.
The roller?
backwards. Yeah. No,
Yeah.
well, I mean the roller was screwed up part. I don't know if that master link was flipped around backwards or something, but that chain came off. Took the whole top part of it. I mean, case saver did his job. I'll just put a case saver on it and roll with it. It just doesn't look as pristine as it used to. So
What did I tell you about a master link? Do you remember?
yeah, keep that fish swimming upstream.
There you
All
go.
right. Yeah, I made a little video and put out for everybody. All these little stupid things I do. I try to put out something
You
for
know, you could do
content.
one better. If you bought the tool, you could stake link it. Then it will never come apart.
Yeah, I mean, I do got a chain breaker, but I don't have a thing to.
The stake link is just a non-master link chain. You just like how the rest of the links are put together. They're flared.
Yeah.
But they're pressed. A stake link, you just it's a piece that goes in the socket and it flares the end, and you don't have a master link. I mean, granted, if you stretch the chain,
Was it just mushroom that little piece out so it never
it
comes
does.
off?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
Well, many years in racing, we always ran master links, and if
Yeah.
you put them on the right way, they
Sure.
work just fine.
Yeah.
When you put them backwards and then put your roller wrong,
We're gonna find out in the next year or two how many more things I put on backwards on that bike. The thing is, I've done this to like 3 or 4 of them. I've never had any issues, but I also took my time with them.
Yeah.
You know, it's different now. We're a little busier and you got more toys. I was more or less trying to get that side by side. Anyway, no big deal.
Which that was a trick too. You had to get the suspension dialed in.
Yeah,
all
the
that going.
suspension. Yeah. And I put that out for other people. Like those front end of those Can-Ams, you know, the gusset kit is, I should have had you come over because
We've been talking
what
about
a
it before it
pain
happened.
in the ass.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what. So for me to get over that, I took a bunch of wire. Wire is just so important. But basically, had to suspend this thing up because I'm doing it by myself to get them both on.
Right.
What a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, and the problem is once you unbolt one thing, the whole top of the shock kind of fall off.
Yeah.
Everything, the whole assembly up front by the radiator, all that is all bolted into one. It's not like
it's amazing how vulnerable that whole front end of that cannon is.
yeah, I mean I feel like it was built by carpenters, not by mechanics. You know,
Mhm.
it was built to be made and never worked on.
Yeah.
It's not really user friendly.
No.
Yeah.
Your ride does pretty good though. That shit's dialed in.
Hey, the old girl handles. I mean,
So
it's,
tell people what you actually drive.
So I have a 16 Razor 1000 NA. It's got Pro Shop did the suspension and the motor. We did the suspension originally with shock therapy, and it's worked really good. I mean,
Yeah.
I have probably they always say mechanics have the worst service. You know, mechanics always think that they don't need to do the services frequently because they're paying attention. But
yeah, you know what all the sounds are for.
yeah, and so you let those sounds go until you finally fix something. But
Yeah.
I mean, I have suspension that I've been running unserviced for probably 2 or 3 years now. Granted, early on when the kids were little, we didn't go quite as much, didn't beat up on it quite as much as we do now. As they're older, they can handle it. You know, we didn't drive quite as aggressive, but I have a driver's side front shock with a blown seal, leaking oil, and it still out handles most of these cars stock. I mean, it
Yeah.
just proper setup, time, and knowing what you're driving really makes a difference. I mean, that kind of leads into what we were talking about earlier about people being able to just go in and buy anything. You know, you can pencil whip the paper and purchase 250 horse at the flick of a switch and
Yeah.
go out there with no prior knowledge of Glamis and just put your foot to the wood and run it. You know, I mean, back in the day when Brad got his big sand rail, you know, the thing made 600 horse or so with 20 30 inches of travel, and you
Yeah.
know, it could do 80 or 100 miles an hour through the dunes. And granted, we were strapped
not through the
in,
dunes,
but I mean,
on the flats.
you had a little bit of skin in the game. You either had enough brains to make the money to purchase the thing, because at the time you couldn't finance sand rails. You know, you can finance anything nowadays. You know, you can be 20 years old, and as long as you got good credit, you can buy 200 or 300 horse. You know, and so back then you had to have a little bit of brains to have a lot of car, and you hopefully.
Well, you had a lot more knowledge.
Yeah.
Knowledge,
It seemed
or
like
the
there
guys
was
back then did a lot more riding. You know, did 3-wheeler riding, knew about, you know,
the progression seems to be a big thing.
Yeah.
You actually had a natural progression of one. Most people weren't rich. You had to go out there and build your shit. So you started off with the small things, started building up to it. You understood what it was like to, hit a dune at 40 miles an hour with your face.
And it
It's a
was with the
different,
sandrail.
yeah.
I remember being younger. We would go down. You had an amplified car. We'd
That
go
was
down
it.
there, and
But I had 2 before that.
he did. Yeah,
2 or 3.
yeah, there
I
were
can't
other
remember.
cars. But I mean, we fought through the Volkswagen cars, and then finally got the LS car, and that was a sweet pre-runner. But I mean, we'd go to Glamis, and on the way back, because the builder was down in San Diego area, and we would head down that way. We'd stop by. Brad would give him some input. He'd build it. We'd stop by. I mean, it was it
Yeah.
was a work in progress. He tailor made that car.
Sure. It's one of those love and hate relationships when you get new people that have never duned. They can always just sign over. Hell, even like with my car. Yeah, I just went and got the thing financed, bought the thing, let's go. No problem. Also, I've had more experience in the dunes, but it's like it is easy to get into the game if you really want to. Of course, you're going to sacrifice one thing or another because a lot of people sacrifice a ton for this sport. It's not a cheap hobby by no means.
I mean,
So
I spent a lot of years working on these cars before I could ever afford to have one. I mean, my first car was a hand-me-down car. Again, it was from Autumn's family. It was from the pro shop. We built a Rhino. It
Yeah.
was a 686 stroker, and it was one of the first Rhinos on YouTube. It was a white 2-seater to go up China Wall.
no shit.
Right up the middle. It went right up China Wall. It had a Fireball long travel, Bilstein shocks. It had Woods Racing exhaust on it with a pro design. I mean, it was a pretty standard Rhino back in the day,
Yeah.
and we just it worked. I mean, we figured out how to make it work, but I mean, it wasn't mine until I could afford the thing. Till we had our first kid, and it was kind of a hand me down. Hey, you guys are not riding quads with an infant, so
Yeah.
we put my daughter in a one of those baby Bjorn things, and she was out there at 6 months old cruising around the desert
Oh,
on a
yeah.
Rhino, and then years later we progressed to a Razor. But I mean, shoot, it was 22, 23 before we finally got a Razor NA that was a 16 car. It was an older car, but
Your car rips. So Justin took me out in his, and here's the thing: like I've driven all sorts of little things out there, but when I finally got a side by side, you still take it a little easy. Justin threw me in his car and was hitting. We weren't in the big dunes; we're in the small dunes, but those are more dangerous than the big dunes, I think. And you're hitting shit fast.
yeah,
Not even know what's on the other
stuff.
side, and he has so much confidence in his car. He's hitting stuff. I'm like, it really opened my eyes. Like, oh, these cars can do a lot more. Granted, yours is dialed in and set up, and it really showed me go get your shit set up and dialed in correctly. And I'm still working to get all the stuff kind of worked in, but broke a few things along the way. But
I mean, I feel like a lot of car setup is a shockwave effect. I mean, Brad's got a Honda, I got a Polaris, you got a Can-Am. I mean, at the end of the day, we all have side-by-sides. They all react differently. We all drive differently. They all have
sure,
arguably different horsepower. I'd say yours is the highest. Brad's is probably what was your car? Is your car comparable to Brad's?
it's a little more. So it's a turbo RR. So I think it's around 200 horsepower.
200, and yours is what, 150?
180 somewhere in there.
Okay.
Well, he's got the
It's
turbo. Yeah,
turbocharged,
yeah.
And then mine's stock, so it's probably maybe 100 horse, right? But either way, you're two-seater, I'm four-seater. I mean, I feel like it's a shockwave effect of, mine likes to set into the corner this way, or mine likes to go through the whoops this way, or mine bucks a little bit like this, and I feel like you kind of feed off of each other. Granted, the cars are different. They're a little bit different weight, but,
Yeah.
Depending on the group that you ride with, I mean, the group that I ride with, we ride a lot of desert. Kind of shied away from Glamis a little bit, which has been a pro and a con. I mean, going back to Glamis, our car is a little bit soft. I think the dunes need a little bit stiffer setup initially. You go into those hard G outs, and my car will bottom out a little bit. I mean, it's not a hard jar, but where you get the whoops and the choppy stuff in the desert, you're gonna get a lot different suspension setup for Glamis. I feel like we all kind of bounce things off of each other.
Yeah.
Where like my car, you noticed, had limit straps on it.
Right.
your car doesn't have limit straps. And so I feel like for the desert, our car really shines. You set it into a corner and it doesn't have a lot of body roll. I mean, I'm not setting the world on fire. I mean, my car doesn't have $1 million put into it. We're balling on a budget.
But at the same time, it goes to show that talent goes a long way. And it's one of these things that I've seen with Brad always talking about. He gives me shit because I'll try to get my shocks done because I'm also, but he's like, most people never drive the machine to its capability.
No.
Yeah.
So what is your take on that, Brad?
My honest take on, okay. So working for the race team, this is a great story for you. We were out testing at Glen Helen, and it was Jeff Stanton, Steve Lamson, McGrath. Can't remember everybody else. But at the end of the test, we all brought bikes, and we went out and rode Glen Helen. Steve Lamson was on a stock 125. I was on a 250. This is 2-strokes back then.
Yeah.
I'm hauling ass.
By the way, the smell of the 2-strokes is what made motocross. If people would have smelled what they're smelling nowadays, they would have never gotten as far as they did.
And I just got a hedge trimmer. I had to actually mix oil. And then I sat
just
wham,
your eyes on your damn weed eater.
But anyway, we're out. And after we were done testing, we all went out on the track. I'm on a 250. Oh, I'm doing great. And all of a sudden, Steve Lamson comes behind me and then up and over me on a 125 and was gone. And it's like, this guy is fast.
Yeah.
Right? Obviously, he's won championships. And that puts it in perspective that guy can be on a stock 125 and smoke me. And it's like, you don't need to do suspension. Until you can make it to where you can outride that bike, which he could.
Yeah.
That you could outride that bike, then start pouring into motors and suspension and this and that and that. That's my take on it. So
the last time we went to Glamis, I was on dirt tires. I didn't even have paddles.
Right.
I mean, we went everywhere. We went to the swing set. We went to the flagpole. We went to China Wall, and my car made it everywhere. An NA1000 is a car that anybody can get in, right? And it's affordable. I paid $11,000 for my car. And it's an old car. I mean, by today's standards, it's a 2016. I mean, the thing's an old car, but it's still, if you can drive, and I'm no professional, I mean, I'm not some wazoo driver, but
at the same time, for the seat time you guys have in is astronomically higher than your weekend work.
And that's what I'm trying to tell you is that you can dump as much money as you want into these things. It's not going to make you faster. It may make you this much faster.
Money doesn't decide the talent.
You have to have seat time, like we were just talking about. You remember the guys that came out with us that one trip that had every bling piece on it? They had no idea. Oh my gosh, there's dunes out here.
I had high hopes.
But they were horrible.
Bobby, I run stock radius rods. Everybody we've ever gone out with has these aftermarket billet radius rods, high clearance, Heims, this and that. We used to build cars all the time. When I was still working in the side-by-side industry, I worked for SDR. I worked for Funco. I mean, we sold and built and installed tons of aftermarket parts, right? We'd go out with guys and they just were not approaching the dune properly, or they'd come into a G out and just hit it the wrong way, and they would bend their radius rods, and everyone says, oh, you got to have this, you got to have that, these are the best parts. And at the end of the day, I mean, look, we were tuned up one night drinking a little too much. Me, my dad, Brad. I was on my 3-wheeler. I had an 86 180 350X. We decided, you know what? Probably against better judgment, but we're going to go out in the dunes, and
one of the best decisions are made, by the way.
It was
nighttime drinking.
It was one of those fuck around and find out moments. Pardon my French, but we decided. My dad hopped in with Brad. They get in the side by side in the mall. I bet you guys can't chase me down on the 3-wheeler, and we go ripping through the dunes, right? And Bradley is on my bumper. I mean, I had a cooler rack that probably had a little bit of paint transfer on it, and we're just whipping back and forth through the dunes. And I come over this. It's like two dunes like this, and it's got a little ridge in the middle. It was like a step up, right?
Oh yeah.
And I whip right up onto this thing, and I'm ready to rip over the dunes. And I see the lights behind me. They dip and they go like this, and I'm all
No, they went not all the way.
they just
This
went
way.
all they just kind of went like this, and I'm all shit. And I turned around in my drunken stupor, and they're both sitting there. I'm all, you good? And they're like, yep. Click, wham.
I wasn't upside down.
Yeah, they were on their side. But Brad, on his car,
Yeah.
my stock radius rods, the reason I told the story, he's got a stock Honda roll cage on the Talon.
Well, I didn't get into the roll cage.
But they tipped on their side. Some of these cars, you tip them on their side, and they're built out of crushed up beer cans. You know, you tip on the side, and the things like this. And I mean, we have been fairly successful for a long time with just stock components. You know, and as long as you can drive, as long as you can handle your machine, you're going to be fine. I mean, people overcompensate for lack of ability with these manufacturers that make great parts, you know, that make people arguably, I guess,
Bold.
Well, they overcompensate the people.
Yeah.
You know, you got people that have never been out here before, that have never driven an off-road vehicle at speed or anything like that. They drive their highway vehicles that are safe with airbags at 80 miles an hour.
Well, let's also talk about that then, because everyone's getting in the sport, which is nothing wrong with that, because honestly, the money coming in is what keeps it alive.
Sure.
So for people that are coming into the sport, for them not to screw up, to be that guy that all the OGs are looking at, like, what the hell are you doing? What should they be doing?
Learning.
I feel like it's a lesson that I was always told by Brad, my uncles, you know, everyone that grew up on 3-wheelers, right?
Yeah.
Honda had that lawsuit forever with the 3-wheelers, you know, where people sued them for getting ran over. And that's a case of stupidity. You know, you
like your coffee being hot and they split it.
At McDonald's.
With McDonald's.
When you have to tell people the coffee's hot is the problem, you know, it's like
speed killed guys.
No
shit.
Yeah. I was always told, shut your mouth and listen, you know, and it's like, when I was younger, I'm like, these old guys, these assholes, you know, they're talking shit, you know, they don't know what they're talking about, because I'm 15, 16. I know everything, of course, you know.
Of course, yeah.
And
the world
your
by
balls
the
drop and you're ready to go.
He's got the world by the balls.
Yeah.
I know everything.
Schwarzenegger for nuts.
That's right.
So,
I'll watch
which
Predator.
reminds me, we're teaching him how to drive.
Yeah.
And we're coming down the street and he's speeding. And I go, Justin, slow down.
I remember this.
And he goes, my instructor says it's just a suggestion, the speed limit. And I go, no, he did not.
Hey, but I've stuck to that my whole life. I still drive that way.
And I can't wait till your kids start driving. And
yeah, it's gonna be a nightmare.
It's just a suggestion.
But I remember, though. I mean, I was always told, just open your eyes, shut your mouth, pay attention. You know, and the times that these guys were probably tuned up, drinking Zimas or Budweisers or whatever the God only knows, you know,
Bartles and James.
I've been tuned up with some Zimas
Yeah.
back in the day.
freaking drinking some Rumpelmints or something, you know, going to comp in the middle of the night. But you know, I mean, those are the times that I wish people. I mean, I'm 35, you know, but so I can't speak too much. I was fortunate to grow up around people that knew how to ride and knew what the hell they were talking about. But you know, these guys nowadays, they don't walk into Burt's or Chaparral or something, and these guys are like, hey, you know, and they grab them by the collar and they say, you know, you need to go spend some time in the dunes before you put your foot to the floor, you know, and I feel like a lot of these guys don't get that training or don't get that knowledge. They see a YouTube video of these guys going out to the dunes and they're like, shit, I can do that.
Hey, I get
I wanna
excited
do
just
that.
thinking about it.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, my first truck was Brad's hand-me-down, right? It was an extra cab. I think it was like a mid-90s. It was a red Toyota pickup truck. It was stick shift, so I had to learn stick shift from the start. I didn't have an automatic truck. And I had to learn how to drive. You know, I had to figure out how to manage the road plus the stick shift, you know, and these guys, you know, some of them are grown up in the Tesla. You know, they drive themselves, so they get in a side by side
Yeah.
that you just put it in gear and go. You don't have to shift it. You don't have to worry about dropping a gear to go into a turn, so you're set for the exit.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, a lot of these guys, there isn't a training course that they take to say, hey, let's do this. You know.
You're bringing up a good point. And, you know, it's one of these things I think is also one of those problems where most of these people now have been raised on Fast and Furious their whole life. And then they finally get out in a place like this. And it's really just like when you see somebody getting in the snow for the first time. They have no idea what they're doing. They know how to drive a car. Then they're getting put in a completely different environment. And then ego comes into it. You don't look like a wimp. You don't look like, you know, like a little bitch doing something. And then all of a sudden, you just wad up your car. But at the same time, what would you suggest? Because you pretty much said like, hey, these didn't grow up doing this. What are the things that were available or are still available where people could actually train their kids in this? I know the
train
adults,
their kids, or I mean, you're looking more adults too.
Even, well, I mean, the adults definitely need to get into this. I mean, if you go in knowing you don't know what you're doing and you need to get yourself in the middle of a pack, going out somewhere to learn how to read the dunes.
I think it would be almost how we met you.
It's a family thing.
Yeah.
You're saying, oh, this is my first time out here. I've seen it on video. This is cool. And then we said, you're not riding by yourself. You're gonna be with us. And
To
you
be
learn.
fair, I have ridden in the dunes before.
Well,
I just didn't know them or anyone out
yes.
here. So,
but
I mean, I think it comes down to family, and that's really what camping's about is being out there with your family. I mean,
yeah,
having people. I mean, it is rare to have somebody like you come up to a large camp like we were, and to walk in and just be like, hey, I'm this guy. I want to go ride the dunes with you. A lot of people are a little cliquey, I think. You know, and
Yeah.
maybe they don't want to accept new people into their group because there is always some.
but rightfully so.
Sure, there's always a nervousness about
Yeah,
somebody new coming in. You don't know if they ride good or not, if they're going to crash into your kid or something in your group that you know can ride good. But I think that it's a crucial thing to find some groups, get online. You know, there's all nowadays, especially it's easier to connect with people. You know, you can get on a forum or something or a page on Facebook or Instagram.
And you can say, I'm new. I don't know how to dune.
Yeah.
Swallow your pride.
Yeah.
And Grandpa does that.
Honestly, that probably is the best thing for someone just to swallow their pride and say, hey, I'm new.
I'm new. I've never done this.
And
Help
there's no
me.
shame in it.
Yeah.
There's no shame in it. Just own it, you know, because if you own it and you tell people that you don't know anything about it, it's, I mean, the industry that I'm in, right? I'm a welder, right? If I get someone that comes in and says, I'm a certified welder, I know how to weld, and all you've ever gotten is a cert and you've never worked in the industry, you don't know what it takes to get through that job. We're going to throw things at you. Sure, anybody can weld, but to get it to that point where you can weld it, you've had to build all of this to get it to that point where you can put it together. You know, it's the same thing with off-roading, right? So you want to make sure that you've taken the right steps to where everyone else around you is comfortable. You know, you want to make sure that you've done your due diligence, I guess, you know?
Well, it's like anything in life.
Yeah.
Right now, I got a pool. You're going to take your kid and just throw him in the deep end and go,
Yeah.
Or are you going to teach him how to swim?
Yeah.
It's the same thing with Glamis. All these people are going out and buying these cars and doing all this, and they're thrown in the deep end. Oh, I've seen this on a video. I can jump that. I can do this. I can do that. And it's like, no, you can't. Yeah, you can try it.
Come in and tell somebody you know nothing and let them show you. And then take what you know and take a little bit of what they know. Don't be rude. Just accept it and say, hey, you know, thank you. I appreciate it. And if that's the group for you, stick with them. If it's not the group for you, then move on to the next and see what they have to show you. But it's all travel knowledge, you know?
Well, it's the same thing, not only you, but Doug. He was not a Glamis guy.
What a kid. You found him on the forums, right?
Yeah. He said he went out there one time, didn't like it. My dad said, oh, come hang with us.
Yeah.
And look at him now. He loves it because he was with us and we taught him.
Well, it also, that's the other part of it. It's the people you're with.
Yeah.
Grandpa Ken is tribal knowledge though, because Bradley is also part of the Fuckarewee Tribe.
So it's good lead into that.
Tribal knowledge,
Look at
Tommy.
that. Yes. What, Brad? So this is one of these things that this is. What is the Fuckarewee?
Where the fuck are we?
Okay.
It's ancient knowledge of the dunes.
Where is this? So this is this one thing that I've seen in Brad camper for forever.
A trailer.
Sorry, not the camper, the trailer.
He's from the South. Come on.
Yeah. Sometimes the same thing. So there's this. Basically, it's like an Indian smock up on the wall. It's tacked up there.
Well, we'll do when we're done with this.
Yeah.
We'll get a picture of it in there so you can throw it up.
Okay. Yeah. For sure. So this is one of these things that I don't really know the full background on.
It's an ancient relic.
Justin kind of told me a little bit about it.
I can't speak of it.
It's been something I wish.
It's folklore in the dunes.
As long as I've been alive, I've heard about it. I've known about it.
Yeah.
Around the camp, I've heard whispers of it. It's something that you had to be a member of or a part of.
If you know, you know, huh?
Yeah.
So supposedly there's a Fuckarewee Tribe.
You might as well call him Jimmy Hoffa. They just ended up in the dunes with this thing. They freaking sewed their sandals together until they made this thing.
So before Jeremiah Johnson, took y'all out.
It all started, it was actually my uncle and
Kelly?
My Uncle Kelly and his buddies.
Incidentally, the same guy that played the guitar. Instead of on a horse with no name, he's playing guitar around the campfire on a bike with no chain.
No, that was Tim.
Was that
Tim?
Lunchy?
Yeah, that was my brother.
No shit. So hear about this tribe.
So it just started. They had a boys trip that they would do every year.
Yeah. And
it was the Fuckarewee Tribe. So this is back when they were a little older, but
Three-wheeler days.
Yeah, it was all three-wheelers back then.
Yeah.
And
the blood of off-road.
This is the 80s back then, huh?
70s.
I thought this came around the 80s.
No, I think it started.
The blood of the 80s,
no, but the whole thing started, I think, in the 80s was the Fuckarewee thing. And it was just a guy's trip. It was once a year. And it was actually in October.
Those
that
were
we would go out.
buggies with no roll cage days.
Not that old. But it was just a guy's trip, and it started out that we'd all go ride on our three-wheelers, and you didn't make it that far. It's not like you're hauling ass on three-wheelers.
Yeah. They were
this is before,
Snipes.
like right around, some of them had 350s. This was before the 250Rs.
Yeah, you're barely making up the big stuff.
Yeah, but we were having fun.
Oh.
And we would just ride and then kind of get lost. And the leader would just get up on a seat and go like this and go, "Where the fuck are we?" And it became the Fuckarewee Tribe.
Yeah.
And that's back when Boardmanville was open. So that was, yeah. Well, no, it's still the original.
But before they remodeled, when the thing was still pinned up over the pool table.
So we did this for years. And then they made we'll show you a picture. But
and don't let them minimize it, because we used to go to Boardmanville and get the chili dogs and the ice cream, and we'd stand in there and we'd look at it like
it was right above the pool table.
So this is the shit that pisses me off, is I get to hear all these stories about how cool all this stuff was when you could go underneath the tracks and get over there without a DUI. I'm like, So here we are. We're all learning about it.
It was you had to be there to experience the time.
Yeah, I missed it.
Well, there wasn't really even rangers out there then.
Yeah, it was
way back
Wild
in the day.
West back in those days.
Yeah. And I didn't do it, but the older guys would take off and go to Mexico. You didn't need a passport. You didn't need nothing. But they would just take off in their cars and go to Mexico for the night and then come back. These were a lot of cops, too.
No.
But, yeah, it was just a tribe that just a boys deal.
How many people? How many people were usually in this group?
It started out fairly small. I'd say there's probably 15 or 20, and then it got big, and it got too big, and then some guy almost died, and that killed it.
Well, that's almost any trip.
Huh?
That's usually almost any trip.
No, the guy literally.
Oh no shit!
Yeah,
life lighted out type deal.
they didn't have Life back then.
Oh, okay.
He was lucky that we were out in the flats. That's where we camped by Vendors Row. And this guy got really lucky that there was a guy camped close by that was a doctor.
No shit.
Because he was almost dead, and he stabbed him and trached him, and
What happened to him?
he was drunk and ended up up over the fence on where Vendors is. There was a big chain link fence, and somehow he ended up over the fence. I don't know. I really don't know exactly how he ended up over there.
What the hell?
Yeah, but crushed his windpipe, and
If you rode a
Yeah.
3-wheeler, it
So they
gave
needed
you
to fall into
extra
a shrink.
courage.
huh?
So they had to put a shrink in him.
Yeah. Luckily, there was a doctor there. He would have been dead.
Damn.
So that kind of killed it because we started getting a lot of younger guys coming that were there to just be idiots. So that kind of killed it. And then from there, we went to doing like golf trips and Laughlin and stuff like that. But I've been kind of tasked to bring it back, but it's going to be a lot mellower kind of thing.
It's not going to be, and it'll be just as gnarly. He's lying.
I haven't heard
lying
of this.
right to your face.
We're bringing back the Fuckarewee
But you're going to
Tribe?
bring back all the old guys that are 60-something right now.
Well, that's fine.
Yeah.
But I guess the rule you'd have to at least assume is you can't bring a GPS. You just get your ass out there and get lost a little bit. and
I
come
can't
back
get
on-
lost out there. I have never been lost out
I
there.
mean, how
Look at
could
this
you?
guy. I mean, just go to the highest point. Go to either railroad tracks or
You either got the Chocolate Mountains or you're just not lost. I mean, Chocolate Mountains are home.
There you go.
That's
I
it.
mean, when in doubt, head east. You're gonna hit railroad tracks
I mean,
if you know what east is.
and if you're on a 3-wheeler, it's like getting drunk at the bar and hopping on your horse. It'll just take you home.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what they're designed for.
Just lay the reins down and turn it loose. Huh?
I have the original 185S. The first time I ever stepped foot in Glamis, I was on my 185S.
No, you
Oh,
weren't. You were like 8 years old. You didn't have anything.
Well, but
you
the
were
first-
borrowing whatever Brad had.
But the first thing that I rode, and I still have it to today, and I ride my kids around on it. My kids ride on it. I mean, I love that bike. It's been to China Wall. It's been to Oldsmobile. It's been to
Oh, yeah.
Osborne. It's been all through the big dunes. And why or my caution about Glamis or why I don't go to Glamis anymore.
Yeah,
Nah.
yeah. You don't want to talk about why you don't go to Glamis no more? That's fine.
Well, I was going to go into,
Hold
you were
on.
talking about a 185.
Yeah.
Sounds like they got stuff.
What other cool?
Why don't you keep it with enthusiasts instead of why you don't go?
That's what I'm saying.
Well, we're talking about
Keep it on the positive side.
what I was
Real.
talking about with Bobby is prior to this is the reason a younger couple like us we started going to Glamis but decided to go to the desert because it's a little less crowded. We have cautions with, and we started talking about it a little bit with anybody being able to buy a side by side that's faster than you've ever seen. With
But you're going
little
to get
no
that in the
skill.
desert too.
Sure, but it's just it's less crowded because I feel like
Well, it's not really. If you go on big weekends and stuff like that, then yes,
I mean,
it's going to be crowded.
We've been to Lucerne on
But-
New Year's and it's not.
I know.
The comparison is
Yes,
definitely different.
on big weekends, yes.
It
But
could be
you
the fact
came
that
out last
Lucerne
year.
is this big and Glamis is this big.
But you came out last year on an off weekend.
Oh, we had a great time.
Yes. So you can't pigeonhole it.
It seems like
Yeah.
the big weekends are definitely the ones that just keep people at bay because it's just you know what you're gonna
Yeah.
get.
I mean, I will say, last year when we had a good time, it was on an off weekend, and what drove us away from Glamis was the crowdedness of it because when you guys were younger and still working, and doing what we're doing now, is we'd leave on a Friday night, come home Sunday, and it would be crowded all the time, and the only available time we had to go to Glamis was the time that everybody had off of work or school when I was younger, so we went on the available weekends instead of having the luxury of being able to take time off. And so now that we're young parents doing the same thing with our kids, we're trying to keep them in school as much as we can and, utilize the time off that we have available. And so we do those busy weekends, but we try to go to the less crowded areas of the busy weekends, which seems to be the desert for us. But we went last year to Glamis and had a hell of a time.
Yeah.
I mean, had no complaints, had a good time. It was Glamis like I remembered when I was a kid. The kids had fun. They rode 3-wheelers. They did what I did when I was a kid, and they had a good time.
Well, it's like Havasu, right? Back in my day, you can go to Havasu and you can be out in the middle of the lake and nobody around. But you go to Copper Canyon, you go to the sandbar, you do all this. It's like, yes, you can put yourself in all that chaos.
Sure.
If you want the chaos. And it's just like Glamis. It's, yeah, you can be in the middle of nowhere. That's usually where we ride.
Yeah.
I mean, we're out in the middle of nowhere.
Oh, yeah.
Or you can go to Oldsmobile, you can go to the flagpole, you can go to the swing set. You can put yourself in the chaos, but there's plenty of room that you can stay out of the chaos.
There really is. I mean, because we always do mostly just, usually we're down and deep in the washes. So to get to the chaos, there's a trip to it. We only hit one main spot of the chaos.
Yeah.
I think the crazy part about that is growing up, and I would say the second greatest time of Glamis. You had the greatest time of Glamis, which was Brad's younger years. Of the 80s of.
I'm still young.
Well, I mean, but the heyday of Glamis when 3-wheelers and cageless sandrails were about. I feel like that was the first great time of Glamis, and then you have my younger years of Glamis. I'm 35 now. I guess I'm still young, but when I was 10 to 16, 17, 18, I mean, I remember riding with my Uncle Chris and my cousin Nick. My cousin Nick was in his Toyota single cab, and me and my Uncle Chris were on an air-cooled 250R.
Yeah.
Early 80s 250R, riding doubles. There's a cooler rack on the back. I got my knees hiked up and my feet on the cooler rack. Neither one of us are wearing helmets for God knows whatever reason, but we're on our way from like the flats or Wash 6 or something over to Comp, and they had a punk band playing at the bottom of the hill.
Oh,
People
yeah.
are running nuts, and I remember those days, and I'm like, holy crap, if I wasn't with some people that I thought were responsible, but come to find out everybody was partying back then. But, I mean, I just look at those days that now I'm their age or maybe a little older, but I'm looking at it like, shoot, I remember the crazy times of Glamis, and I kind of thought, those are the same things. So we kind of shied away and went to the desert. And the desert is a little more mellow. I feel like it doesn't draw the crowd that maybe the party scene of Glamis does. But then again, you still get those good weekends of just family times. I mean, you get Thanksgiving, Brad cooks a turkey, and, we sit around the table and enjoy. And, I mean, there's still plenty of core family values in Glamis. You find trash anywhere you go.
Exactly. And when you want to have, the family time, you can definitely do it. And you can always make it work either way. One thing that I find funny is I'll see those old videos back in the old days, the old parties, and I'm like, dude, I wish I was out here then.
The quicksand videos.
Yeah.
That was Glamis.
But what's so cool is what really, for me, I think is the thing that ties it all in. Is back in those days you're talking about, those are the days where you were constantly chasing that thrill.
Yeah.
And you were always hitting the next level. It's one of those things that we always talk about is, you're always chasing the first ride.
And there were levels to hit still.
Yeah.
Nowadays,
when you're younger, you were constantly upgrading those spots. You were like, oh, the next bike is the one taking you in.
Bobby, you sound like a heroin addict.
When you're a adrenaline junkie, it's kind of what it is.
First time I took the hit, man, I'm chasing it.
Hey, I
Glamis
don't give a shit. So one of those things, when you get on a bike, you're like, that's it. You're in the pocket.
And then you're
just looking for that next spot. Like when I get excited about it. When you're riding and you all of a sudden you just hit that moment where you're like, this shit is badass.
That was the first GoPro that you made of us ripping. I'm on my 350.
Yeah, that was an old one. That was something I had for years, and it was sitting on a hard drive. And I just, things you can barely ever use that video because they're so choppy and they just bounce all over. And every now and then you can make a cool video, and I'm like, there's some gold in there.
Yeah.
And I love
how
it.
many people do you see ripping a 3-wheeler nowadays?
You don't.
Our camp has 3-wheelers. Brad's got a 70. My grandpa's got a 70. I got my
Tim's got
185.
his.
Tim, yeah. We've all not gotten away from 3-wheelers. Whether they're dunable 3-wheelers or camp cruisers, but
They're wild animals, man.
the blood of Glamis is a 3-wheeler.
Yeah.
But what I was going back to before we took our break was we grew up on 70s, 90s, 185s,
110s.
110s. And that's how you learned how to dune.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're going back to these guys that, just sign and drives and they're wadding everything up. They don't even know how to hit a dune.
Not to mention not having the power to get up the dune.
That's where you had to learn.
Here to get over there.
That's how you learn.
Yeah.
And that's how you learn how to run the dunes. Oh, I can't make that, but I can if I do it this way.
Yeah.
And you zigzag up stuff.
Yeah.
And that's what made it fun. You found your trail. You found where you could and could not go. And if you couldn't go, you figured out another way. And that brought a whole nother element to the ride. It made the ride, quarter mile longer or whatever, because you were ripping around 2-3 other
quarter
bulls.
mile. It made it like 5 miles
Yeah.
longer.
But that shit would make you fearless.
Yeah.
Because now you're
Fearless. Uncle Tim had the 350X with a trailer behind it. He welded a trailer hitch to the swing arm of a Honda 350X, and he used to tote us around. The seatbelt in this little trough that he would carry.
My
us.
dad built that.
Grandpa Ken built it.
And that's what me and Tim and my other brother Uncle Chris used to go in.
All of us used to ride in this
Yeah.
thing. It was just a tie down that we would just go, okay, hang on.
My
We'd
dad
go
built it
up
out of
around.
fiberglass and plywood and fiberglassed it.
It looked like a doghouse upside down. We
That's
were
awesome.
sitting in the doghouse with they were like ECC tires on a solid axle, no suspension, just leak them things down to about 3 pounds and just roll with it. And we were just, that might be how we ended up this way. Our brains were scrambled.
I got a picture of that too, so we'll throw that in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Throw me all for everything we're talking about. Throw me some pictures and videos, anything you got. We'll throw
Speaking
it up
of
there.
which, Bradley, cheers to 3-wheelers. I know Bobby.
She took my shot glass.
Bobby's an LT 500 guy, so he's not a 3-wheeler guy. But
hey, I'll tell you my first experience with a 3-wheeler. And it's probably why back in Washington State, I'm riding.
You got a story like Kevy, where he ripped your whole leg apart on a 3-wheeler?
No, he's got a little more meat than I do. So what happened was, I'm young. I'm probably like 9 or maybe 8 or 9, and I'm riding on the back of this 3-wheeler this kid had, and we're hauling ass. And this other dude had a 4-wheeler. And anyway, we're just zipping past him. We thought it would be fun and just, give him the flyby.
Yeah.
And this kid is just ripping. And I'm riding on the back of this 3-wheeler. And he's flying by, and his back tire clipped the back tire of that 4-wheeler.
By the way,
just sent us flying.
Every 3-wheeler was ripping because they were all slightly sketchy.
It feels fast, no matter what. But he hit this. But the back tire of this 3-wheeler hit that damn 4-wheeler's back tire. It launched us, and I literally, to this day,
take the wheel.
I remember just being upside down and flying and landing on my head in a ditch, and that 3-wheeler just end over end.
They chase you.
Yeah, and that kid went this way, I went the other way, and it didn't run anymore after that. They threw it in a barn and just left it there. That was my first introduction to a 3-wheeler. I'm like, hell with these things. My brother's had one. He ran his through a barbed wire fence, ripped the side of his. He's got still a gnarly scar on his side.
A talent going up the hill. It took a bite out of him.
Yeah,
tore up the Thunder's eye.
But 3-wheelers, whole different animal. And I have enough trouble with just 4 wheels. So don't put me in 3.
You have trouble with Loctite, not 4-wheelers. The 4-wheeler is not your problem. If it stays together, you can ride the shit out of it.
I thought I could ride,
He made his 4-wheeler into 3-wheeler.
My confidence went to shit over the last 2 years. I'm like, this could get called.
Well, I remember your last crash. You were on 4, and then it went to 3, and then you crashed.
I'm like, I thought I was doing just fine. And then here we go. So we'll get the thing built up. I'll go haul ass, get my confidence back.
Oh, yeah.
And it'll be all right. Well, guys, I know we can't keep talking all night, but this is our first iteration of doing kind of a roundtable podcast. We got 3 phones going. We're going to see what we can keep doing with this, guys. But anyway, This is Brad and Justin, two of my good buddies out here, and we're gonna go to the sand swap tomorrow, sling some coffee,
Drink some beers.
drink some beers, and we'll probably drink again tomorrow night.
Yeah.
But
We'll be right back here.
damn right. Anyway, cheers.
Good
See you next
night.
time.
That's a wrap.
Oh yeah, it's a wrap. All right, you can turn the music on now. You allowed to show beer and shit on it? I don't know. I'm about to find out. This one tells
I
me
think
no.
beer's fine. You just can't
Oh,
have
this is-
like branded music.
Yeah, the music seems to just be the thing that pisses everyone off.
Yeah, it's copywritten.
Do I need it, Kuz?
Want to put those?
No, I don't think so.
Sure, just
Hey,
in case.
If you make it huge, then yes.
If we make it awkward, then it becomes awkward. Hell yeah. Got the pink.
Out of here.
Oh, this is fresh. Don't take
Yeah.
this.
It shows we're doing something.
Certain.
Shows
Here,
we're
just do
working.
this. See?
Yeah, there you go. And that's what it's going to be. Get you a koozie. You're just drinking some Glamis coffee. That's all it is. It's going to be the next slogan. Coffee for people that drink beer.
Pink.
That turn in you on.
Pink.
Tight fit.
All right.
You might think it was pink for Rebecca. It was pink for
The Banshee.
color.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
Banshee.
it was the Banshee color. That damn Banshee's going to be the death of me.
Those were the best times. Best colors.
I love that color scheme. Do y'all want to be in? You want to come over and talk? No? We'll shoot shit.
You got all your garb on.
I got one more.
You guys should have been bringing us in these shots on a tray or something.
Yeah,
but
yeah,
yeah.
that's
Yeah,
Why don't you guys go back here and play badminton?
I know.
Like girls on a
Just
trampoline.
becomes like this pool party behind us where we're just doing this thing and yeah. All right.
Into the quad racing thing.
Yeah, we're totally breaking the quad race. All right.